Alright, so I'm back, and today we are going to be taking a look at the X-Transbot Master Mini-Series Stax, aka Pipes. So this is the Masterpiece Pipes figure, and here's the packaging. I want you to remember the placement of these cannons, or these pipes here on his arms. Just remember that when we get to the figure. Excuse me. There's the top of the box. You can see how it's it is very reminiscent of a Masterpiece box. X-Transbot 86 MM2 Warrior stack. There's a picture of the truck. Picture of the robot. Picture of what's coming, Haas and Ollie. I am still planning on getting the Ollie figure. I don't think I'll get the Haas. And the back with the tech specs. There's the bio if you want to pause and read that. And then up here we got, everyone shows us off. There's Beachcomber there, Cosmos there. Huffer, Pipes, Haas, Ollie, and we got Cyclonus in the sweeps. It looks like Cyclonus and Armada, and then the sweeps. So maybe we'll be getting those guys soon. Maybe we won't. Who knows? But that's really all there is about the box. And here is the figure. So really nice looking. We'll get the guns out of the way here real quick. I mean, he does look nice. I have some issues with this figure, though. For one, on the picture of the box, it shows that these things are plugged into his forearms, like wrist cannons. Okay, so we'll take those off and we'll put them on there. All right, so now we got them on there, and of course, now they're holding. They weren't before. So yeah, I guess they don't, it's kind of holding in, but it's not all that secure. And it's a little frustrating. So the best place I found to plug them in is underneath the arm, and these things plug in really well down there, but they don't seem to really like to stay in there. See, I mean, so it's kind of disappointing about that. Not the most disappointing thing about the figure, but we'll continue. So he's got those pieces that just kind of plug in over there. I believe with the Huffer, you can leave them plugged into the back of the truck itself. But this one you can't because the way he's supposed to look. You don't have to transform them this way. You can transform them the other way if you wanted to. But this is more cartoon accurate. Next issue I have is just there's not enough clearance back here. His chest is on his hinge to help for transformation. So when you pull it all the way back, that looks great. When you put this thing back, you have to leave it at an angle, as you can see. Because if you push it straight forward, then you push the chest straight forward. And it doesn't look too bad, except now his head is rubbing up against that back window. And this little switch back here keeps flipping on its own. Like, I want to keep it so that it's just the eyes, but you can flip it down so it's the visor. Let me zoom in and do that again. Okay, so here's the visor, and you can just switch it to the eyes, but when you have this piece back here, all the way back, it kind of automatically switches back to the visor just because it keeps getting caught. And then you pull it back to get back there, and then, it's just kind of, I mean, you see how everything's just kind of scrammed up against there. It's definitely more like this mode or this version of the mold was the second thought, and because when you have it in that huffer configuration with the back rotated around the other way, it holds together a lot better than this one. So there's that. And he does come with his guns. They're just 2 little pistols. Really nice. And you can just take them, and they just, like every Masterpiece figure before them, there's just 2 little slots that plug into the hand right in there. And they do not plug in very well, so you have to actually fold the fingers on them. But once the fingers are on there, he holds them pretty good. But he just doesn't hold them on his own. Without the fingers getting involved. So yeah, there you go. For reposability, his head is on a ball joint, so it does, look up, down, left, and right. But again, you have to move the whole back here out of the way to get to it. Otherwise, so even here, where I can still kind of rotate it, it's kind of leaning off to the back. Shoulders are on ball joints. Due to the way it's cut, it has some limited articulation going out this way. That's my main gripe right here. The arms do not seem to want to hold on. So yeah, they go up, around like that. Swivels at the bicep, double bend elbow, swivel at the wrist. And I got this guy brand new. This was not a used figure, so this is stock what you get kind of thing. Waist can rotate kind of far this way, but due to this piece right here, it gets jammed up right there. I'm sure you could force it, but you're going to start scratching the chrome back there. Hip is on a double swivel, so it goes up, down, in, out. Then there's also a rotator right there as well. Bends at the knee. Really, that's it. Okay, so that's your bend at the knee. Just a little bit. Oh wait, no, it goes a little bit further. Yep, but it feels like I'm really putting a lot of pressure on this joint. Foot is on a, it looks like a ball joint. Yeah, definitely a ball joint. So it does rotate up and down, a little bit side to side. And yeah, there you go. And you can see, this thing doesn't like to stay up here either. So, it's just a little frustrating when it's like that. Like I said, you could take this and unhook this, rotate this around, and go with the huffer style configuration, which still doesn't hold up there very well. And you can see, here, let me try and do that one again here. Is it going to do it again? I don't think it's going to do it again. Oh wait, there it goes. Watch this. He's back heavy and the hips aren't quite tight enough to hold him straight up. But yeah, when you have it like in this configuration, it works better for him, but it makes him a lot more back heavy, as you can see. So for transformation, you want to take all these pieces off. Just set those off to the side. We'll come back to them later. And you want to pull this piece out, and they're on these little plastic hook things right here. They come up, and there's just a little hook in there. that holds on, and it holds on very well. And that's actually kind of a downside sometimes because it feels like you have to bend the plastic. But yeah, it's just these two little hook things that hook in under the little cab section there. So you fold those out, just kind of take this whole wheel assembly, and it just comes out, locks into place, and then you want to, let's see, you collapse the leg, and just listen to that plastic grind. Collapse the heel into the foot, rotate the wheel around, and then you just slide it forward, like so. Take the foot and you fold it, rotate it out to the side like so. And then you tab the legs together. Alright. You can fold these little side pieces out. They're just folded back here. You can just take them, fold them out like so. And then what you want to do is you take the arm here and you pull it back and you rotate it like this and then like this. So just kind of try and keep them compact up as possible. And then this assembly, this chest assembly will fold up into here, and like so. And then you just kind of supposed to lock in, but there we go. Just kind of give it a good squeeze and it kind of locks in there. And then you can take these stack pieces here and they just tab into the back. Mine don't fit very well, so I kind of have to put them in at an angle. As you can see, they're not quite straight up and down. This should go in a little bit further. But I can't, like, yeah, like this one, I was able to get it in there just now. So that one, yeah, see it's straight up, and this one is kind of at an angle. The legs do not like to tab together very well. But there you go. For the guns, storage, you got, if you split the legs, there's a little tab. It's kind of a soft indent right here. And it's just kind of supposed to slide in there, and you're supposed to collapse the legs around it. But it doesn't work on mine, so that doesn't hold in at all. And then the other place is you're supposed to be able to tab it in here in the wheel well, or in the connector port, but again, it doesn't tab in very well. So essentially I don't have gun storage on mine because it just doesn't work all that well. But so we'll just set these pieces off to the side. Now supposedly he's supposed to work with the MP trailer, so we're gonna try that. He does have the little slots for it. It does tab in, and it looks like, yeah, it does work for him. So that's really cool. I do dig that. Yeah, it's a decent little truck mode. I wish there was a better way to lock this these hips into place. I don't know how you would do that. Maybe just an extra plate that would fold down, or or maybe have these pieces lock in somewhere how. But as it is, it just kind of feels a little floppy here. And it just kind of, I don't know. It's not as good as other Masterpiece figures. That's for sure. But it does roll, so that is nice. And that's really all there is to robot mode here, or vehicle mode. So to transform them back, you want to take the smokestacks off. I'm going to pause the camera for just a second. Alright. I was at the 15-minute mark. I didn't want to have to stop later. So you take those pieces off, and you want to split the legs, slide them down, rotate the foot forward, rotate the wheel back, and then it slides into place. Flip out the heel spur. And then you want to take this assembly here and pull this back. And then you rotate the arms forward. And they come off. And they come off. That's right there is my biggest complaint. I cannot keep these arms on there. I can't keep them from falling off. They really, I mean, I can get them plugged back in and they seem secure, but as soon as I do transformation, they seem to want to come off. There's really almost no friction on there, and I can't, you know, it's a tight ball joint is the thing. So I don't know how to fix this, to be honest. I mean, normally I would say, oh, you know, you got a loose ball joint and the arm keeps popping off. You want to put some super glue in there. Or if it's a too tight ball joint, you know, you move it and it'll be like, it'll pop off because you move it. And that means the ball joint's too big, so you want to shave it down a little bit. This one, the ball joint moves freely and it holds into place. It's just at certain angles, it'll just come out. I don't get it. I don't understand why that happens. It's like there's part of the ball joint that just isn't complete in there. That's probably what it is, actually. Probably just a socket, or part of the socket for the ball joint just isn't complete at a certain angle. But it's really aggravating because, you know, this is a $60-something toy, and I can't keep his arms on. Anyway, so you want to take the wheel here, and then you pull this back, and it just rotates in, and slots up against us. Then you take this whole assembly here, you pull it out, rotate it around, and it comes up. And what you want to do is take these two plastic hooks here and here, and you feed it through this section here. There's a little tab there, and you want to try and keep it above the tab. It gets a little aggravating to get it in there. Oh, and I got below the tab. Oh well. I guess the below works just as well. But above might be what keeps. Let's try the above again. Okay, so we got it on the above part. It doesn't give me any more clearance on the head issue. Maybe a tiny bit more, and it keeps it kind of more locked in. Alright, so maybe that's what I was doing wrong there. And then you rotate this piece to the back, rotate this piece to the back. Watch them fall back. I mean, look. And this is the company that's building us the MP Megatron. Alright, so plug those into under his arms. Claps his hands. So he's holding his little pistols. Alright. And there we have him back in robot mode. You're falling backwards again. I'm not touching this thing. It's very aggravating. When you're not touching a figure and it decides to repose itself. Alright, so for size comparison, here we have him against the Classic Seeker. And he's actually a little taller than the Classic Seeker. But this does not work for a Classic Seeker scale whatsoever. Here we have him with the iGear Seeker. And you see he's I would still say he's a little too big for the iGear Seeker. To be honest. Because, I mean, he's a mini-bot. Here he's with the MP car. And Springer. Again, I think he's a little too big. I think he should be about a half a head to a head shorter for a mini-bot scale. That's just me, though. Get those guys out of the way. And here he is next to the iGear Pipes, who is up for sale if anybody is interested. And while he's just a straight repaint instead of retool like him, he does hold a lot better. But yeah, so there you go. So they look together. He's just way too small for my masterpiece collection. So all in all, it's a decent figure, a decent mold, poorly executed for this particular version. I don't have the Huffer. I might get the Huffer. I know someone has offered to send me the Cubex Huffer. And I hear the Cubex Huffer has more quality control issues than the X-Transbots guys. But honestly, I don't see how. This guy is not a very high quality figure, in my opinion. I mean, you see him fall back on his own. The arms just do not stay into place. I don't know. This guy is just, he's subpar. And see how he just leans back. I mean, and it's very unfortunate because had they just worked a little bit harder on this figure, he could have been really cool. I mean, I really like the mold. I love the way he looks, and I love the way the truck looks. But all in all, I'm going to give him a... I'm going to have to give him a 5 out of 10. I really don't think he's worth the price tag. Take $15-20 off that price tag, then this guy's worth it again. But as it sits, I would just wait till he's on clearance, because these things will probably end up on clearance. They're not that spectacular, and I kind of question why a lot of reviewers gave these guys such glowing reviews when maybe it's just mine. Maybe it is just mine, but I'm having a hard time with him, and everything I see it doesn't seem to be like it doesn't seem like a flaw in the figure. It just seems a flaw in the design. So I don't know. I'm not super thrilled to have him. So yeah, there you go. Masterpiece Pipes is far from a masterpiece figure. 5 out of 10. Arms keep falling off. Guns can't hold in without the hands, which, yeah. The truck has that wobble in it. There's no place to really store the guns because it doesn't work. I can't really pose him the way he's supposed to be posed with the pipes because they keep falling off. He's back heavy, and his joints, while they're tight, are clearly loose because, I mean, look at this. And I'm over here, you know, and I take him and I shake the legs. Oh, yep, there they go. There's the legs. I mean, this is a floppy mess. This is, I mean, I've had KOs that are better than this guy. When it comes to that kind of stuff. I know it seems like I'm being harsh on this figure, but for the price tag and for it being a masterpiece figure, you know what? I expect a lot more from a figure than this guy. I am disappointed, and this does not bode well for X-Transbot with their Megatron. I'm going to buy some more of their figures before the Megatron comes out. Probably the Ollie, and maybe the Huff, if I can. And we'll see how those guys work. But honestly, if this is what we're getting from that Megatron, they can fucking keep it. I'm sorry, but this will not do for a Megatron. I will accept this. I'm going to put this guy on my shelf, and I will accept it because he's pipes, and I really don't give a crap about the character. So, but Megatron, I mean, if this is how their Megatron's going to be, and they're supposedly making Cyclonus and Scourge, that does not sit well with me at all if that's what's going to happen here. So we'll see. Hopefully they'll increase their quality, but you know, with everybody sitting there giving these guys rave reviews and telling everybody to buy them, the company's just going to keep putting out shit like this. And that's one thing that really bugs me, is like, if everyone says the company's doing a bad job, then the company does something and fixes that bad job. Unless their eye gear, with their paint. I mean, that's what Bad Cube did. Everyone was complaining about Cubex Huffer, so they switched to a different factory to do their brawn. But everyone's saying these things are good. This is not a good figure. This is not a masterpiece quality figure. I'm sorry. I know I'm sounding like I'm a little pissed off, but I am. This is not a masterpiece quality figure, and I'm irritated that people pawn this off as a masterpiece quality figure. It's not. This thing is not. And I don't know what else to say. It's not a masterpiece quality figure. Unless people start telling that company, hey, you're not putting out good enough quality figures, you need to step up a little bit. They're going to keep putting out this shit, and this is what we're going to get with our Megatron. I mean, that's what happened with Crazy Debbie. Everyone gave him, rave reviews for a while there, and then all of a sudden this thing started destroying the figures that they're supposed to enhance, and the price went way up, and and by the time that we all realize that they're shit, nobody wants to buy their stuff anymore. Anyway, masterpiece pipes.